This is Wolfgang from Wolfgang's Healing Circle. Today we will be using gems and minerals for various metaphysical purposes. You will learn some techniques that nobody teaches and that are very, very effective. I learned these techniques doing a past life regression into a lifetime where I was of a priestly class in Atlantis, and I had access to the big temple there, and I had access to machines that would generate certain effects on the human force field. And I was told that it was very important that I went around to all these different machines and checked them out, and it just, one machine got me very grounded, the other one blew up the crown chakras all the way, and another one just spread my energy on the solaris plexus level, and there were devices that would give me a lot of life force that I could pass on to other people. And I was told that I would recognize these devices in this lifetime, but in a different form and shape, but with the same type of function. And these devices are actually gems and minerals in their various combination. And so here we have a common quartz crystal. Actually, this is not a very common crystal. This is a Lemurian quartz. And first of all, before you work with any crystals or gems or inherited jewelry, actually, I strongly recommend to purify and to clear them, because they will affect the way you feel. And for me, it would be like going into somebody's or wearing somebody's other used underwear, actually worse. Because sooner or later I will feel inside me the emotions and other experiences that are in the crystal or in the gem or in the jewelry, and that is generally not very pleasant. It's because they never have been cleared. There are many ways of clearing gems and minerals. Some put those into water overnight. Some put them in water overnight under the moonlight. Of course, you can't do that only every ever so often. Some put their jewelry on salt crystals, which is a rather harsh method. But it works. A more organic method would be to put your gems, crystals, jewelry into a bowl of brown rice. That's a very nice method. You can also, if there's none of those available and you're out there and want to use a crystal, let's say you're on a gem and mineral show and you wipe out a crystal, I would just blow over this and think clear. Smile into it. Think clear. And blow over it. This is smile, it's supposed to be kind of a loving mood. And you will feel lightness, and then it will taper off after maybe 10, 20, 30 seconds, and then it's clean or cleaner. And then you can energetically connect with this crystal. Some people also use sage, but of course you can't carry that with you around. And another way is if you have jewelry, I so strongly recommend that you clear this jewelry. And if you think there are some vibes with it and there has been some some really bad karma, associated with this jewelry, everybody that had it, died a horrible death or something like that, it might be a good idea to completely clear this. And this would be kind of a lobotomy. You boil this thing. But that means the living entity in there leaves, and it's a dead shell. It's not going to be the same anymore. But that's one way, if you're a materialist and lazy, to take care of those things. But actually the method that I like the most is I use what I call the divine symbol. Here you can actually see the Platonic solids shown in a two-dimensional form. And just in short, the Platonic solids are the basic structure alignments, grid alignments that all the atoms in this Newton universe, combine. They generally they're shown as little balls, but they're also in relationship in different angles, and all those angles are represented, in these symbols. And somehow or other, when you put, let's say, a crystal or anything into the center and let it sit there for 2-3 minutes, and you just wait with it, you will notice suddenly, the thing will go, it just feels like it. Of course, most of the time you only feel it when you're sensitive. That's your women and some of your men. As a man, don't be disappointed if you don't feel anything. Have your women check it out. They will always know better anyhow. So, and when you feel this aha, and then there is a plateau where it doesn't get better, then this thing is clear. And then you use it. You can get this symbol from my website. There will be a link, so you can just print it and use it. There will be another video about how to use this in detail. So anyhow, once you have your crystal cleared, it depends how sensitive you are. For many people, when they stretch out their hand and they pass the crystal over it, they might feel like a tingling, that's moving around, or some pressure, and you go back and forth, and you can feel, more and more how the pressure may be coming from this crystal is stronger, or coolness or heat. People react in different ways. But that is just a general crystal in a passive way. Now, these things, they react really nicely, with your life force, with your chi, or also called prana, or vril in Germany, in magic. It's all electromagnetic vibration, coming out of your hand. It's used in Reiki, hands-on healing. Yogis use it. It's the stuff of mysticism. And, we get this life force flowing, just by, rubbing our hands, for 30 seconds, massaging it, or clapping it. I don't want to upset the mic. Or if you're yogis, you do some, what's this called, the rainbow bridge, Or if you do Qigong, you just draw the energy from the earth into your heart and into your arm, or from the heavens with your breath. So there are many ways, to chi up, to get your energy going. And then once you have your energy going and you project this energy into the crystal, then things get interesting. So let's do this. First of all, I just sit down and straighten my spine out. And just, see where my energy field is, how do I feel in my body. And I'm taking, when you look at the crystal and turn it around, there is a base, here it's broken off, and then there is a top, and it's pretty flat. And at the flat, generally, that's where you connect with your thumb and hold it, comfortably in your hand. And, you know, I just connect with the energy here, and I smile into it, and I draw love from the Earth Mother, you know, into myself, into my heart. The smile is very important. And then on the exhale, I send that love from my heart, you know, through the arms into the crystal. So I feel right away there's a widening here, there's some stuck energy that's loosening up, and I'm starting to relax a little bit more. And now my legs starting to ground. And there's a sweetness coming to me. And I feel much more whole than I used to before. Of course, some of this is affected by just grounding and flooding myself with earth energy and earth love, but there is a component, you know, that comes from this crystal. You know, this is a special flavor of a crystal. So let's explore this a little bit more. So a quartz crystal, you know, this is kind of where pretty much everybody starts out with, or should start out with. You know, they kind of shoot energy, you know, out the top. And now there are also chunky stones, like this here. And this is one of the most important stones to have, in my opinion at least. And this is quartz crystal. You know, you can see different shades of pink. You know, these are rough stones, you know, not polished. And this is an ordinary quartz crystal, rose quartz, and this here is a strawberry rose quartz. This means when you polish it into a cabochon, it will have a holographic cross in front of it, and it has a little structure inside of it that resembles a strawberry. And the difference is not only a couple of $100, but this is a much finer energy. You know, the color is slightly sweeter and finer, and it's just like a better wine. You know, you have a better flavor. But you know, cheap wine does the job too, and so this is a cheap rose quartz crystal, and gets hold in and draw again, you know, earth love into our heart. And boy, you know, this whole area is just starting to glow. It's like being in love again. My heart is open, just like a 14-year-old adoring girlfriend. And so for healing and for meditation, you know, we all know love is the best, and this is the thing, you know, rose quartz. And let's say you have a chunk of rose quartz and you want to do like a lot of healing, you know, somebody needs a lot of love. What I do is I just take my crystal wand and I piggyback, you know, the chunk of rose quartz, you know, onto the wand. I just hold it where all my other chakra stones are, and I just run the energy, you know, over the wand, which kind of squirts out very, very focused, you know, so you can stay further away, you know, from your client or the person you're healing or the part that you're healing. And you don't have to stick, you know, your hand into like a painful aura. and pick up stuff. So this is the tool for professional healers. So you can always piggyback any stone that you need onto your normal wand, and that's a wonderful thing. You don't need a special wand for every occasion. And so the rose quartz gives you a lot of love. Now if you're a healer or a psychologist, or you're going through a crappy time, have negative energies, there is another really, really important stone, and which is obsidian. This is obsidian. Actually, this is rainbow obsidian. This is, of course, the fine form of obsidian. It's a lot sweeter than the other obsidian. Now here, this is a normal, ordinary obsidian ball, and when you look at it, there is one area that is grayer than the others, which is here. Yeah, there you can see that. Difficult to see, it's black, I understand. And this is probably where you want to put your hand. And the thing with obsidian is it grounds negative energy into the earth. And just to give you some examples of how these rocks can be used very, very wonderfully is, I've spoken to a lot of pagan priests in different cities that would counsel in prisons. Go there, work with people that are desperate, that are angry, that are messed up, that had horrible childhoods and ruined lives, and work with them. And these were very sensitive people, and so I asked them, how do you handle this negative energies? There's oodles of bad energies in jail, It's just an ocean of bad energy, anger and hate in general. There's very little love there. So how do you handle this? And, get out, uncontaminated. And they said, oh yeah, no, we use obsidian. We give them obsidian egg to hold, and they just ground it all out. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And so I use it, in my personal work, in rebirthing work, breath work, in other situations, where you go into, the dark basement of the human psyche, where rape happens, or, where guilt is, and resentments are, and anger is, and past life where bad things happened, where there was torture. And this is, when you hold these kind of things, because they will help you release a negative energy, and actually you probably would not look at those dark things unless you had the help of these stones. I know of one psychologist that works with drug addiction, a testimony kind of affair in public, and where people talk about their issues and to basically do group therapy. And I introduced the obsidian into this situation, and the psychologist told me, since they are holding this talking stone, as it was called, people have been unpacking their burdens, stuff they would not talk about before. They were clammed up before, but suddenly, as soon as they start holding this thing, they just started unloading, all the deep secrets, all the deep pain. They had to adjust their therapy. It was just coming out too much. They weren't used to this. So these are very, very potent, when you work through dark issues. And you can breathe with them when you're, let's say, very upset, and it just, sucks all the bad energy, out of you, and then, your legs kind of open, and you hold them, your legs start tingling. This means they're open. A lot of people nowadays are so mental, computer work, thinking from this and that. They're not in their heart, they're not in their bodies. and when you're not in your body, then, your legs, the chi in your legs gets clogged up, and you don't ground out the bad energy anymore. So once, you start breathing, with Obsidian, a lot of, the bad chi that you're carrying around from emotional experiences, that you're still holding on to, that last fight in the office, or your grudge against your mother and your overbearing father, or your old lovers that dumped you. Some people carry this kind of stuff for years, especially the unconscious stuff, this eternal being pissed off at your mother or the man, right? So these are all luggage and baggage that we want to get rid of, and this helps with this. Black Tourmaline, you can see it has those parallel lines, so it's basically built like a fiberglass optics, where the strata is just running this way, and that's kind of how it works. If there's something that has been really traumatized, maybe somebody got a neck chop, here, and oh my boy, it's just, there's a bad energy there. Maybe this person that did that neck chop also put a lot of anger into that thing, that makes it even worse. That anger, goes right there, and this is negative energy that sticks there, and this comes in very, very handy. You just hold it over there, and you ask the stone, like a child, kind of, would you please help me, pull, all this bad stuff out of there, this trauma. Always treat those rocks, with respect. They are beings, unless they have been cooked. They have consciousness on a level that we probably do not understand, but they react to a kind of childlike innocence. So many fairy tales, and stories from around the world, always, basically have the same thing. The warrior with an open heart, with a pure heart, gets to see, the land of the fairies. This is basically what we're working with, is the realm of the fairies. Energy, chi, subtle, kind little beings. If you're nice to them. And, with this childlike atmosphere, heart, also so many times children, they are permitted into the realms of the fairies. While here, with working with those rocks, we just at the outside of the fairy arms, just maybe perceiving some of the energy. But this is a stepping stone. So, we back to the neck chop situation. So we hold this thing on there, and this will do already a lot. Just having it passive, sitting there. But then, of course, if you start breathing into it, or extend the chi in your hand and start fanning out. Right? Oh, you piggyback that, onto a wand, and and then you start scooping it out. So it just should maybe take 5 minutes, and you will know that a lot of the energy has left. Of course, damage to the physical structure, that may take longer to heal, but at least the bad chi or the interruption of chi, is gone. So, what else do we have here? Well, this is here my gem bag, that I carry around with me. So I have like wonderful Tao crystals. They're awesome. They're the most powerful. I have some Russian, Lemurian, very, very heavy. But some really, really fun stones. Let's start with Angelite. Here we have Angelite in an amorphous form. It's polished into a massage wand. And here we have Angelite in a crystalline form. And both time it's like a light, nice pale blue, like an angelic little voice color, and then you breathe into them, immediately, there is this sweet blue energy, fluffing in the higher chakras, and of course the channelers in the lore, they say, they help you connect with the angels. Well, if these chakras are opened, then you can connect with the angels. It's basically the way crystals work or gems work is, they affect your energy system. And when certain chakras or energy system parts of you are open or more activated, then your perception changes. The more, your higher chakras are activated, the more you can perceive things on a subtle plane. Feel chi, have far out high philosophical ideas, that is all, these are all gifts having intuition. These are all gifts from the higher chakras. So gems that reflect the colors of the higher chakras, like the upper chakra, the crown chakra, is considered to have a violet color. So amethyst is good. Anything that's in the violet area helps a lot. But you also do good with lapis lazuli, which is actually traditionally the third eye color. That's really good for this area. Or turquoise, that is generally the color associated with the throat chakra. So any problems that are with a certain chakra, can be remedied with the appropriate color of a gem. Let's say, you want to bring some healing, some harmony into an area, you would use a nice green color, and this is a pretty good chunk of malachite. Now, there's one thing with malachite, and that is these guys, they absorb negative chi. And if they get too much, they burn out and they die. I mean, they get dull and the spirit leaves. So if you have very sick people that have cancer, don't just leave it sitting there, for an hour on the cancer and walk away and then never clear this thing. This thing is probably going to be dead in a couple of days. He says, no, I'm not going to carry that pain in me. So, purify them right away. If you put them in running water after you're doing healing. Put all your stuff in running water. You got to take care of those gems. Especially malachite. So, but they're wonderful of balancing stuff out. That's the color green, and they're also good for the heart. Now, when we go with the same color theory, red. This is like a ruby-like stone. It's the color of a cheap ruby, and it's nearly the hardness of ruby. I also use originally ruby, but not in the bag. That stuff is too expensive. That's in a smaller bag. But if people have heart or blood problems, you want to put this on, above the thymus or above the heart, and chi this up. Put a lot of good, smiley chi, that I would draw from the earth into this stone, and this stone will generate a red colored chi that is really good for the blood, and the blood will carry this from the heart, all over the body. Also, wonderful for people that are exhausted. You can put this also, over the root chakra or the second chakra and cheer it up. It will get a lot of raw physical life force going, and sometimes, that is what we need. Sometimes we are spaced out. That means our energies are like in the higher chakras, and there's no energy in the feet or in the legs. And much of the time, if it gets really extreme or out of balance, we have like red cheeks or hot head, cold hands, and cold feet. And if you're a person like that, it is good for you to get grounded, to get back, to the physical reality, and away from the mental planes, away from the future, away from the past, just into the presence, into the body. And breathing into something red will really do this, and you will get grounded. There will be strength in you, and suddenly you feel inspired to vacuum your room and clean the dishes and do stuff that you haven't done in a long time, because now you have enough physical raw life force to react in a physical world, and it's not a drag. It is just physical no-brainer fun. So I think that's enough for right now. There is so much more to say, so keep watching, for more videos. I'm available for consultations, for healings, over Skype. My range of services is quite wide, so please, go to my website and inform yourself about all the different things I can give you advice about, or I can help you with. I like to work over Skype. I can work over the phone. I take donations, and I hope you have a wonderful day.